Hello dear friends, it's Alex from FXPIP.1. Today we show a new version of the robot, of the Multiplier Grid Overlap EA. This one you can find inside menu. This is our automatic robot that you can use in semi-automatic trading and total automatic. All other soft is trading panels, they not total automatic. Some of them you must open first manual order, then pick up your orders and trade until profit and manage this. So only this one robot can be used as total automatic strategy, and to learn how it works you can find in video courses. This one is old video course. New parameters is posted in this total description of the strategies. You can find a lot of indicators we added in this EA. You can combine them with each other. You can turn on or add or turn off anything you like. You can find a lot of TMA, very popular strategies, and something and similar like that. Today we discuss new version with Stochastic oscillator. We got it from idea one of our member, and we also like Stochastic oscillator. In past we used this a lot, but it's first time we add this indicator in this robot. So I hope it will stay and you're gonna like it, and you will combine with other indicators in your strategies. So what we have two time frames. It's a fast and slow time frame of the Stochastic. We have two different types of the filters. It's filter number 1 you can activate, and filter number 2. Two different strategies. First strategy, it's one time frame Stochastic. Robot will look only at fast time frame Stochastic and will use only fast time frame parameters of that Stochastic, only this. And once the main line will be higher than signal line. Signal is the red line and the green line is the main line. If main line will be higher than signal line, it means this is the trend direction for buy signal. This is sell signal, because at current bar you can see that main line is below signal line. Here robot will continue open sell. Once signal line will be below main line and main line will be higher than signal line, that is a buy signal. Robot do not dedicate and do not looking at crosses or similar like that, do not use that words in these strategies. We only compare who is higher or below each other, nothing else. The strategy number 2 is the same, exactly the same as the first, but we look at two different time frames. And once robot dedicate that at two different time frames, the main line will be higher than signal line at both time frames. Only in this case we receive some buy signal. If we will open two charts with different time frames and different parameters, you can set up even different parameters for two different Stochastic, fast and slow. In strategy number 2 we did not post it even some picture, because it is similar as this, but at two time frames at the same time. So once we robot dedicate that two different time frames and two different Stochastic give you the same signal, buy and buy, so robot will open a buy signal, buy order from that signal. This is it what I wanted to discuss with that version of the EA. We already posted this for our members in Telegram develop group. People test it, and soon we will show some results. For now I would like to invite you in a new series that we launched. It's called Crypto Funds Management. We already reached almost 95%, more than 2 months. We launched it from 1st December and we go in stable profit, approximately 1% per 1 day. You can see how we run it in our FXPIP news channel. We also posted it here. You can click and join to our news channel in Telegram. Also, you can register. You have a pinned post. Use this pinned post. You can find that you can register. In crypto funds management, there is a link. You can find this link also outside. Crypto income, there is. You can read the conditions of this investment. There is calculation for 1 month and calculation for 2 years. The profit that we will make for you in this project. We also use stop losses as well. You can read. People ask questions. If this question is not added in our description, we will reply and add that new explanation at this page. So there is deposit and withdrawal requests. You can join us. By the way, we just made some withdrawal requests for a couple of users. You can find them in our Telegram channel. People commented that they successfully withdrawal with us. It was really fast, about 10 minutes. So please welcome. And the latest part of this video, I will show you the videos and some tricks and some explanation how to use our robot from our client. He shared this with us, some videos. We will add this at the end of this video. So have a good profit. Goodbye.
Yeah, welcome to the first video of the explanation series of my set file, and yeah, a little bit deeper and further explanation of the whole way this EA works. Well, topic of the first one is account size and money management. Therefore, let's change to the set file, and as you can see here, Alex is already writing here. You should trade DCA from 10k above. If this 10k are cents at a cent account, or if you have, let's say, 1k and use a micro account where you can trade 0.0001 lots or whatsoever, yeah, doesn't really matter. It depends. It's not dependent on the, let's say, on the worth of the money behind. It's dependent on the on the quantity. Yeah, 10,000 should be the minimum. Yeah, so 10,000 cents, or at least a micro account, or $10,000 in best case to trade it. As you can see here, this is critical. It's also written there. Why is it critical? Because basically we are working here with a grid EA, and grid EAs have the ability to enlarge their position sizes, which we are will discuss in a further video here, risk and lot size. And we can collect some negative positions in one direction, and this can lead to tremendous drawdowns if the account is too small. So please be advised, $10,000 or 10,000 cents, or at least $1,000 traded on a micro account is the barely minimum to use. And I would recommend to start at this account size with the minimal lot size possible. So basically on a standard or ECN account, which I'm using here, 001 is the way to go. Or if you use a micro account, also on a cent account by the way, or if you use a micro account, 0.0001 is the way to go. But do not try to trade it on at normal settings. Let's say on a €1,000 account, this will lead to a crash. I'm already faced with this set file drawdowns up to partially 6.5%, which is really good at all. But if you use the same set file on a $1,000 account, this would mean you have 65% drawdown and are already close to margin call, because there is always some amount you have to spend as margin, which is blocked as margin. So please be advised, never trade accounts below 10,000 cents or dollar, or use a micro account if you want to go smaller. That's it for the first video. Yeah, here we are to the second video of the explanation series, pairs I trade and why. Well, this could be a little bit longer than the first one, because I want to explain this exactly, because there's a lack of understanding, as I recognized. Well, as you can see here, I'm using Euro USD, I'm using USD CAD, I'm using Pound USD, and I'm using XAU USD, also known as gold. Okay, now some guys can say, pooh, critical because the pairs are correlated, because all the pairs are US dollar related, because. Well, all true, but it depends on the overall setting, and it depends on the overall behavior of the pair, not over 15-minute time frame, what you can see here for a few days, but it depends on the behavior of the pairs through years. And the point is, these are very big economies, the biggest economies in the world, of course, which can be probably traded in Forex, because China with the spreads, it's not possible basically. But anyway, it's not the topic. The topic is why I trade these pairs. Well, as mentioned, they are the biggest and most influencing economies in the world, and the behavior is, let's say, a very similar one over the long run, over the long distance. As you can see, you have spikes, obviously, totally clear, but normally the behavior is the inner volatility of the currency stays basically very much the same over time. So this was Corona in March 2020, and as you can look here, basically the behavior is the same. Sometimes goes up, sometimes goes down, but it goes up and down with a slight volatility, with no such huge gaps or whatsoever. Of course it can happen, but as you can see in normal times, normal, what is normal, but the most time it behaves very similar. So this is a pair which is calculatable. It's nothing crazy like CHF JPY or stuff like this, which I'll show you in a few minutes. This is Pound USD, yet on a daily chart. Basically, it's one of the majors, of course. So what is on this, and here we came to another very important topic and a very important point. You need liquidity in the markets. It doesn't help you if you get slipped on every order, or if your order gets rejected due to the slippage setting or whatsoever. This is also not really good. It's not really in your favor. It should be very liquid markets at least. So, and this is for sure when I trade these four pairs, Pound USD, Euro USD, UCAD, and gold. Gold is the most volatile pair, and this is also for me the most loved pair in DCA and in trading DCA, because it goes very much in the favor of my strategy. Yeah, the volatility is volatility is case sensitive. This is critical. You need volatility in the markets. Yeah, so you need traded pairs. I do not want to say heavily traded pairs, but pairs which are really focused every day, where is going in and out huge amounts of money. And these are basically pairs where the European currencies and US currency are involved. That's basically fact. Well, they are correlated, of course, yeah, but the mathematic behind DA, which we discuss further in the next videos, is very capable and has the ability to handle this moves of these pairs, and on the other hand, the pair delivers what I need, liquidity. Yeah? And that's basically the reason why I trade these pairs. So Euro USD, Pound USD, there is a reason why there is no JPY in it and no Swiss franc. I will also explain. And UCAD, as mentioned, and one commodity. So basically a little bit of a mix. There's also one commodity, not only currency pairs, but the main focus is on currencies, of course. Yeah, as you can see also when we compare some moves, let's disable this at all pairs. When we compare some moves, let's say from the 3rd February, this was the NFP move. Here you go. As you can see, they are very similar on the one hand, but totally different, although on the other hand. But what I mean with that will be clear in a few seconds. Yeah. So basically these three pairs moving almost identical. Yeah? And as you can see here, the red dots are above the price. So Parabolic is showing a short very early. This was very good. I've made, I think, 5 or 6% to the account on these days, or on this day especially, and yeah, it was really good. But here we're going to Parabolic. It's another topic for another video. As you can see, as discussed already, they are correlating, but here it comes, basically the most important thing is to set the EA correct. Then even this correlation cannot do you anything, cannot hurt you in any way, or at least I shouldn't say cannot hurt you in any way, because there is always a way, but you know what I mean. Yeah, you are very safe when you set the EA correct and adapt it to these pairs and the style of trading. That's basically it. I just want to also show why some other pairs are not really favorizable for this EA. Well, the most important thing is already visible here. Yeah, when you look at the spread table, a euro franc can be interesting, of course, but 1.6 pip spread is not what we want. Yeah, the same stuff is pound JPY. Of course, we are outside the trading times of pound yet. Also here we are outside of the trading times, but the spreads are high, and yeah, the pairs are in general sometimes critical. I've done some case studies. Trading pairs like this are really, can be interesting and can be fun. But if I go here and add the Parabolic 15-minute chart, which I'm using mainly, then I can easily find a decision. Do I want this, or do I not want this? Is this working in my favor, or is it just another pair which produces trades and produces drawdown, which the other pairs have to take care of? Or is it something what can be a winner for my strategy? In this case, it can definitely not be a winner for my strategy, because the EA would decide to open long trades here, would decide to open short trades there, would decide to open long trades here. In the range, this is no problem, but basically after a range follows a trend, and then you have resting long orders up there, which the short profits have heavily to fight against, and the long orders here are even not capable to cancel the rest of them. Another longs gets opened even bigger and it drops further. This is not what we want. Well, you can say, okay, then use a higher time frame. Yeah, you can do. Of course, this is possible. You can use, what the hell? What's going on here? Current. You can use a higher time frame, but this can solve this problem, but it also brings you to the point that you got short orders from down here up to there, and then you have always to measuring your pips, which are 40 pips here, yeah, and then it's dependent on the pip step, and you always have something open on the wrong direction, which eats up the profits in the correct direction. So basically there are pairs which are better, pairs which are worse. This is definitely one which is not working in my favor. Another very good example is this crazy crappy guy here. By the way, the spreads shoot up to almost the highest I've seen, I think 110 pips overnight. So basically totally crazy. Yeah. Even a drawdown of let's say a not reasonable drawdown of, let's say, 10% can get up to 30, 40, 50% with this exorbitant high spreads. These are extraordinary high. And yeah, you have also to think about this: how far can the spreads go overnight over the server restart time, the MT4 restart times, and how much can affect this my drawdown, because you have always to think about, you still have not really, when you have 40% drawdown as example, you have not 60% left, you have maybe 20% left, because also there is margin involved. Yeah? So do never forget this. And this is also the reason why I trade 4 pairs max on a 10 account, and do not put a shitload on pairs on 10k. This is basically something what can also cause huge troubles. Okay, I can close this now. Yeah, that's it. Oh, okay. This was wrong. This is another account, yeah. As you see, I have several test accounts here, but this is all running on the same stuff: euro, pound, and gold. Here is even no UCAD involved. What's going on? Come on, start over. Here I'm testing M30, as you can see. It's a 30-minute time frame. Also working also really good. As you can see, not really drawdown. Account is 1 week old roundabout, and we are sitting at 6.5% profit. What the hell? What's going on? Why is it restarting? Yeah, anyway, that's it for this video. Hope this is clear so far and helps. And yeah, then let's move on to the next. Yeah, welcome to video 3 of the series. Now we came to another important and very interesting point: which indicators I use and why. Well, basically, you can say I'm using 2 indicators. One which is massively adopting the logic to the market movement, to the price action, which is the auto pip step, but this is another video. This is a total on topic. For now, we stay at our well-known parabolic SAR. SAR means stop and reverse. Somebody know this, somebody not, I think. So basically, I want to mention it. SAR means stop and reverse, and parabolic, as the name says, or the name already explains, when moves get parabolic, the indicator follows. And certainly when the momentum is flattening out, is going out of this move, is disappearing out of the market in this direction, then the Parabolic SAR also flattens down his growing curve, and eventually at some time the price hit the parabolic indicator and then it switches to the other direction. Basically you have some options to set in parabolic. There is the step and the maximum option, which are both in my case at default. Yeah, so I've nothing really changed here. Where is it? Parabolic SAR. Here we go. I'm using SAR filter type 2. So basically when it shows short, trade only shorts, and when it shows long, trade only long. Yeah, time frame is set in both cases to 0. So basically the time frame is used where the EA is started or where the EA is attached. When I change the time frame, I also change the time frame of the parabolic SAR. This is what I want. This is how it's set. So basically signal bar is also a topic. It's set to 0. Just leave it at 0. This means if you put it to 1 here, you need one closed bar at the changed signal, at the signal change, that the EA is also changing its behavior from long to short or short to long. This can help you sometimes, but can fuck you other times, especially, let's say, in cases when the EA... Oh, there is a good case. Not here, not yet. Oh, no good idea. Yeah, if you search one, you will not find. Okay, let's switch to gold. There is definitely a good case. Here we go. As you can see here, we are in a long trend. The parabolic SAR shifts direction and is shifting to short immediately when the price is going through. When I now type in 1 here in this setting, the EA would wait to close this candle and then would switch to short. In this time, you're opening longs here like crazy. So do not change this. Yeah? Leave it at 0. That's basically the best way to handle it, the best setting. And yeah, as you can see, and as I explained parabolic SAR before, it is very close to the market. Very, I wouldn't say close to the price, but close to the market, momentum-wise and price action-wise. And when it shifts, normally also price action shifts. Well, there are sideways movements where you get a lot of false signals, but this is about this is taken care by our mathematics of our robot. No problem so far, all good. Important is that it shifts when it has to shift. And in this case, it has to shift. Best case, obviously, is such thing like that. It shifts at the top to short, and then you can ride the whole wave down here. Perfect, very good. But it's not always the case. In like here, let's say. It shifts to short here, so to long here. From here on, it only opens long orders. If you set this function, which I discussed before, to 1, it would start with longs up here, very late. Yeah, this is the reason why I would recommend definitely to do not change some settings here in parabolic SAR. Just leave it like it is. It works like a charm, like it is. Just be sure that you use type 2. And you're good to go. Yeah, this is it. Why I do not use different indicators? Well, either they're lagging too much or give too much false signals in trends, or basically the redrawing, repainting, which is which leads to not really reproducible results from visual backtesting. Yeah, but also can lead to problems. And yeah, that's the reason why I'm using this parabolic SAR, and I'm very happy, very satisfied with it. Looking forward to Stochastic. Stochastic, in my opinion, is also a very good option. May also to combine it with parabolic SAR, but no, I'm not sure. Parabolic SAR will filter some false signals of Stochastic. Depends on the way you use it, which type type number 1, type number 2, type number 3, whatever Alex is coding in. But it mostly the stochastic, in my opinion, would be earlier with the signal, but also delivers more false signals, which can be handled by different types of using the indicator and can be also handled by the mathematics of the robot. Yeah, that's it about Parabolic SAR. So next topic is multiplier and how to set it and why to set it like I said it. Well, this is something really important, and this is case sensitive, definitely. Yeah. So basically, the multiplier is, in my opinion and my video, yet here combined with risk and lot size. Yeah, because this is one big part of the whole EA, in my opinion. Yeah. So risk and lot size and the lot multiplier. This is dependent on each other and is very important at all. Yeah. So let's start with risk and lot size. Well, I can again refer to the videos which Alex uploaded regarding this. It's very important to also view the video course to understand the whole EA and the whole logic, and then you can come back and watch this once more again to get in things deeper. But let's go through it to understand, or to make it understandable, what I'm using here. Basically, my start lot is at 0 because of why I want to use money management. Money management means I'm using not start lot, but I'm using risk. Risk is set to 001. Please be advised and keep in mind all these values here: start lot, risk, max lot risk. These three values are always referring to 10,000. Either it's cents or dollar, doesn't matter, it refers to 10,000, to the value 10,000. So basically, if you have a 10,000 yen account, it's the same, okay? When you use 001 here, which I do, then your EA will start trading the first grid order, or the first, not the grid order, the new serial order, as Alex is calling it, at 001. Do you use your EA on a 30K account, it will start with 003. Do you change this here to 005 and use a 30K account, it obviously would start with 015. Yeah, so basically this value refers always to 10K, nothing else. Yeah, as you can see, I'm do not use start lot, as mentioned. Forget about reverse start lot and reverse coefficient start lot. The first lot factor is 1 in my case, because Alex didn't want to understand what I want from him, as I would mention it. No, just a joke, no offense. My idea was just, if a certain amount of lots in the false direction is open, the first lot factor should be activated. If there are not a certain amount of lots, which a trigger value has to be set, of course, is open, then the first lot factor should be ignored and it should be 1, basically. Yeah. But anyway, this is another topic. Let's come back to risk. Risk thing is, I think, totally clear. I've explained it so far. You can either use risk or you can use a fixed starting lot size, which is not adapting to your growing account or shrinking account, of course. Okay, next important thing is max lot risk. This is also a critical function. I'm using 0.5 per 10K. This is behaving at the same, showing the same behavior as this function. It is referring to 10K. If your account is 30K, then your max lot size per one order is 1.5, not 0.5. So it's referring to 10K. 10K, dollar, cent, whatever. Max trades is set to 20. Well, this number can be smaller, this number can be bigger. I wouldn't recommend to put it lower than 10, but there is also no reason to put it higher than 30 or 20 in my opinion. Yeah? So because I've never seen that more than 6 or 7 orders are open. But yeah, I would not recommend to put it below 10 because you never know what is happening. On the other hand, you also have, there is no really reason to set it higher. Yeah? Max spreads I have set to 3. This is basically dependent also a little bit on the broker and the pairs you're trading. You have to adapt this value, of course. But I'm using 3 for the majors, which is already quite high because majors on the ECN accounts, as you can see, I'm trading here the C pairs. C means these are ECN pairs, yeah. So basically I have very narrow spreads here. When you look at Euro USD, this is at almost 1 pip, yeah. And when you look at, let's close this for a second, Euro USDC, this is at 0.2 pips. It's a difference. The same is true for pound, Great Britain pound USDC is at 0.6 pips. The normal Great Britain pound USD is located at somewhere at close to 2. Yeah. So basically this is the difference. Okay. This is the spread. And now what is even more critical and important strategy wise, let's go down. By the way, let's go through the things between in a short. I'm using obviously market orders. Yeah, I do not use trend step anymore. I disabled it. I'm using a pip step of 15. In this case, I'm using auto pip step false, which is not true on the live accounts. Yeah, I'm using auto pip step on live accounts. This is just testing without auto pip step that they get values to compare. As you can see, there are a few accounts open on this demo server and they are trading all a little bit different. But what I tell you now is what I'm using on the live accounts. This is not needed, not used, also not used. Type first lot exponent. Here we go. Here we start. Yeah. Yeah, well, we have the first and second lot exponent. Please, again, I want to refer to the description, read it and try to understand it as good as possible. At the FXPIP1 website, just click at video courses and then click the second link at this page, mathematical parameters. This is it. Go here and read it. Yeah, and here is also explained what I'm explaining, but I explain it based on my settings. Yeah, and here is exactly explained what is what meaning and what does what lately doing. Yeah. So please read this and try to understand this, and if there are questions, just ask in the group, but this is case sensitive to know what we are talking about here. I'm using type first lot exponent 0, which means I multiply it with the next value with 2, and I'm doing this up to 4 orders. Yeah. Okay, and 4 orders means altogether 5 orders. Also very important because we're starting with the new serial and then we use 4 steps of grid orders. So basically we have 5. So I'm starting with 001 at the 10K account, which is my initial order. And then it starts counting. 002 is next, 004 is the second, 008 is the third, and 016 would be my fourth. And from this on, I'm using the second lot exponent, which is set to 1, which means it adds all the lots which are already open together, which in this case I mentioned yet are 0.31, yeah, and takes 10% of this 0.31 and add it to the latest size of the grid of the fourth grid order or fifth order in total. So that means basically I'm opening 001, 002, 004, 008, 016, and then I'm taking the 016 and remembering it. Okay, I'm saving this. Okay, Now I add all the open lots together, which is 0.31. Okay, basically 10% of it means 0.03. Forget about this one again behind, yeah, 0.03, and I add this to my 0.16, which means 0.19. Okay, my next order, so the fifth or sixth order in total, yeah, would be 0.19. The seventh order would be 0.16 plus again the sum of all the 5 open or the 6 open orders, which is 0.5 yet. So I would add 0.05 to 0.16, which means my next order would be 0.21, because 0.16 plus 0.05 is 0.21. So I have the, again, I have the grid steps. 0.01 is my first order, my new serial order. Then I get 0.02, 0.04, 0.08, 0.16. Then I'm switching to the second lot exponent, get 0.19, added 0.03, because it's 10% of the sum before. And then I get 0.21, because of y, I'm adding 0.05, the sum of all, 10% of it, to this 0.16 again. And the next would be 0.7 somewhere, yeah? So I would add 0.07 to 0.16, which would mean this would be 0.23, yeah? And this is how it counts up. So basically I'm starting with a very aggressive exponent and then slowing down my lot size. Why I'm doing so? Well, because this is very much in the favor of this indicator, which I'm using. As you can see, this indicator lags a little bit. It can open some orders here, but then it switches over, killing partially these orders with overlapping to the upside, and when it switches to short again, it would open another order which is quite bigger, but it's not dangerously big. If I'm going up with the multiplier 2 endless here, I would be at 4 lots somewhere and almost dead. Yeah, definitely. So you have to decide somehow how you wanna treat this. Either you wanna start aggressively and slowing down, then aggressively also, or you wanna start with the first 6 or 7 orders with initial lot size and then aggressively going up. You can also do, but keep in mind when you do like this, like I mentioned it in the second example yet, you have to assume where the trend stops, or where the trend not stops. Sorry, my dog is snarking. Not where the trend stops, but where the trend, where the trend stops a little bit running in one direction and starting to get volatile, to close out. You never can predict this. You are just not able to predict what markets are doing. So basically be on the safe side. Use it like I do. Go more aggressive in the beginning, and slowing it down is way more calculatable on the long run what will happen than doing the opposite. Yeah, this is basically why I'm using the multiplier like I'm using it, and how I'm using these things. Did I forget something? Let's go through. No, I think that's all. As mentioned, just read the description, what these parameters mean and how they work and how they act together, and also visualize, try how to manage it and how to get things done here. Visualize it visualize it and use the tester for understanding things, as Alex is always mentioning, and it's my opinion too. Tester is not, I would not say it's for dummies and dreamers, but tester is way far from real market conditions, definitely. Yeah, that's it for this video. So next topic, auto pip step, and how to set it. Of course, let's go into settings again, and here we go. Auto pip step, here it is. Well, let's explain the meanings again. I know I'm repeating myself, but I would highly recommend go to FXPIP.1, press on video courses and use the second link, and you get helped, very much so. Yeah. Here it's explained all what this is meaning, but I will go through it again and will explain this once more and also related to my usage. Well, auto pip step ADR means average daily range, but this is not 100% true because you can use every time frame you want. But what you do not can do is using some crazy crap like this. Basically, you have to enter here the value of the time frame, which can be 15, which can be 60, which can be for a day. Why not? Yeah, but it cannot be this or something else. Okay, in my case, I'm using the value 15. As mentioned, this is a test account where it's specially testing without this function. Don't get confused. I'm using this on my live accounts on a regular basis because it's a function which bring, let's say, another 100% safety besides my pip step calculations, beside my indicator usage compared to non-indicator mode and stuff like this, which adds a huge amount of safety to the whole trading. And now I will show you why. Well, auto pip step ADR, as mentioned, this is a little bit a confusing name, but forget about it. It's very good as it is. ADR means average daily range. This shows which time frame you are currently at. Alex, may you see this video? I'm not sure if I can use this for switching the auto pip step also with switching the time frame here in the chart where added the EA. This is also not explained here. I'm extra looked at it. It's not written here. It's just written here what you can do, but it's not written. Also, you can use 2 for this Renko chart thing, 2 or 3 basically, but it's not explained here. Can I use 0 for auto adapting when I switch the time frame or not? Please add this or at least give us information. Thank you. Yeah, well, I've set this to 15. The second one is also very self-explaining, auto pip step bars. This means how much bars the EA is counting and how much closed bars. Of course, there is one critical, very smart function in it, which using this auto pip step way closer to the actual price action to the market, but I will explain this in a few seconds. But this is related on the closed bars. So basically when you enter here 3, you are counting the last 3 closed bars, which I not do. I'm using this. I'm using 2. And the divider is also the same. I'm using the divider 2. Okay, auto pip step bars mean we're counting the latest 2 closed, important, bars, and divide this by the number of bars always, and then divide the result once more by 2. And this is our value which is printed here, which is in this case always 15 because I'm not using auto pip step on this account, as I mentioned already 100 times. But anyway, this is how you should set it and how I have had set it. Okay. So 15, because I use 15 minutes time frame. If you want to use 30 minutes time frame, it's also possible. You can do, but then be sure change this to 30 also. Yeah. Okay, and then count the last 2 bars and count auto pip step and use the divider 2. Well, and now a few seconds ago I mentioned a very smart function in it, which Alex is also explaining very good in his video. Yeah. And I wanna go in detail here once more because I think some of you did not really understand what's what is meant. Well, Alex is also coding it like this, that when the measured value, so when the result out of this calculation is below the fixed pip step you use, which is 15 in my case, then it uses the fixed pip step. It's a security function. Yeah? And this would mean here we have a very small movement. Here we also have a very small movement, but here the market, boom, crashing down. And what's happening now? Okay, small movement, we add this together, we divide it by 2. So we're opening all 15 pips here. Then auto pip step wouldn't help. Auto pip step is coded in this EA like that it always takes into consideration the candle which is yet moving also. So basically, when now these two candles are closed, then auto pip step is obviously, of course, 15 pips in my case. Yeah, and market crashes down. Auto pip step will also add to his calculation the third still open candle and immediately widening the pip step. So basically, you can use a small pip step like 15 pips also in gold. As you can see, what is 15? This is basically really nothing. Really nothing when you compare it to such a move. And you easily would get killed in such a move if you do not use an indicator which works properly, or if you use non-indicator mode. You have good chances to get killed in such moves, but not with auto pip step, because auto pip step immediately enlarges your pip step from 15 to, I think in this case we can do the math, but just look, watch the video. I will link it below this video, that you will easier find it, because it's not good linked in the video course from Alex, where it's explained very well. Then auto pip step immediately will extend the pip step, in this case I think to 45 to 55 pips, and you are opening all 5 euros in gold a trade, which means from 1912 down to 1985, it means around about 30 euros. So you have open 7 trades here. Yeah, 6 to 7 trades. Instead of, when you do this without auto pip step, 30 pips, you would have open 20 trades, okay, with this pip step. So basically, auto pip step is a security function, a function which adds another layer of security, which adds another layer to adapting this pip step stuff and pip step thing way closer to the market, adapt as close as possible, I would even say, to the market. And it's not highly recommended to use, it's a must-have. It's basically a must-have, okay? When you trade this on live accounts, basically here for testing, it doesn't matter if the account blows. Yeah, it blows. Fuck off. Yeah, but if it is real money, 20k is 20k. Okay, so be sure and be advised. Use this on your live accounts. Okay, auto pip step, very critical, very important, and very, very smart coded function here. That's it for auto pip step. And now we are coming to a very, at the beginning, hated function, and yeah, I really get aggressions on Alex because of this function. But well, friends, I can tell you this function can make the difference between life or death here in this game. Yeah. And this is target equity and overlap, or target equity compared with overlap. Let's go through it. And also, let's enlarge here. Oh, this is a little bit too much. 200 is enough. These values here. As you can see, depot 0, I will go through this and explain it first, because this is important and critical that it's understood correct. Otherwise, this is what I'm telling you in the settings table would make less sense for you. Well, you can set your target balance and your depo zero overlap. These are the two functions which you can set by numbers. But what does it mean? If you set your target balance, yeah, to 0.20, which I've done here, yeah, you can see my last depo zero value is 21,803.80, and I want to add 0.20%, so these are in dollars 43, to my balance, and then I've reached my target balance, which is also counted in percent here. I've now done 0.01 from 0.020%, so 0.19 are left. My equity is now 0.04% away, but not, that is important, from my closed balance now. It's 0.04% away from my depo zero value. And this is the second value which you can set with numbers. When you set in basically here 0.1, then it means the A will start to build up your balance until you reach 0.1% here. Balance added, you have 0.1% balance added, and then it will start overlapping, so using new profits to eat old negative orders to get also up your equity. And then it goes further. It will again add 0.1 here, then he have reached his 0.2% and will again start to overlap and pull up your equity. And then you got an equity close with my settings. I have to not use dynamic target equity. Yeah. And you get an equity close, I call it. Yeah. So basically equity is at balance. And what I've reached then that this number went up here and this number here increased by this value, which is this in dollar, once more. So basically the next values here will be 847.41 up here and 880, 890 roundabout, yeah, because $43 are added, will be written there. And then the whole process starts again. And this is critical and case sensitive. Yeah, this is not the drawdown which is shown here, equity versus balance. No, this is the drawdown dependent on your depo zero value. Okay, and when you enable depo zero overlap in the settings, which is enabled, yeah, then overlapping starts whenever this max balance is reached. Yeah, so basically, as mentioned, I'm having dynamic target equity disabled. So I'm disabling this function because I do not want to constantly rise my equity and constantly have negative open positions. This is also a strategy thought from mine, because I want to frequently close out all positions, because old negative positions can get far away, especially in nowadays price moves, and then they can get even bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And the problem is not that the 001 order is 40 euro big. The 40 euro is basically nothing drawdown wise, but you cannot reduce 001. You have to delete 001, and to delete 001 you have to gain $40 profit somehow. And in this time where you gain somehow $40 profit, the other orders will need, but the other orders will then need also something to delete. Yeah? So basically you can stuck for a very, very long time with old orders when you use dynamic target equity. It is not a must-have. It can be, okay, but it can be. And I want to disable this eventuality. So I just disabled the function because I like it more when it partially closes, when it frequently closes all the orders and start from new. And I have a fresh chart with 0 open trades. yeah, it's basically just something I like. So in my opinion, in my case, close equity, of course, it's true. Max equity profit is 0.2. This is a little bit confusing named. It's basically the amount the balance get raised before the equity, so before all orders get closed, when this function is disabled, of course, yeah. The first time the balance get raised, and then the equity get close gets closer to the balance until it reaches the balance through overlapping. Yeah, that's it. So basically, this is at 0.2 in my case. Max balance to overlap equity is 0.1. So when it reaches 0.1% from this asked 0.2%, from this requested 0.2, then it starts overlapping. Yeah, and number of goals is set to 100, of course, because it can do this 100 times a day if you want. Yeah, depot zero overlap, in my opinion, in my case, it's true. You can disable it, but then it will start overlapping when the 0.2 are reached. It's a little bit late, in my opinion, but everybody how he wanted. Yeah. Exactly, yeah, this is depot zero overlap, target equity, and how it works and how I use it. Yeah, and I forget something important. I've I forget something very important in the last video regarding the auto pip step, yeah, because overlapping settings is a part of this video, but I will put this auto pip step stuff also in. When you use auto pip step on, disable last TP fixed pips, because otherwise you will always your fixed pip step have been used for your TP. Disable it and it will use the auto pip step also TP wise, which is which is an advantage, of course, because you make bigger gains. Yeah, the winnings are bigger because the trades lasting longer, especially when the pip step is higher. Yeah. In my case, it's enabled, as mentioned, because this account is not using auto pip step, blah blah blah. Yeah, and overlap, type overlap is set to 4. Do never change this. Yeah, last TP, of course, has to be true, so this has to be used. Type overlap is the overlap setting. Use it with setting number 4. Use 100% of the profit for overlapping, which means this setting here. Coefficients last. Then last TP pips is, in my case, always the same as the fixed grid pips, fixed pip step of the grid. Yeah, correct. Which can vary if you use auto pip step, which is not the case of this account in this account, but normally it is. Yeah, and when you use auto pip step, always disable this here. Yeah, and this is the minimum lots you can reduce. Also use it, reduce 0.01, but be sure that you do not trade indices or something like this, because then mostly you have to enter here 0.1, because indices are not at 0.01 built as I need. The smallest lot size here, as I know, the smallest lot size here is 0.1, so keep this in mind. Yeah, these functions between the important things are basically disabled. Stop loss, yeah, with loss of loss pips 50. Basically it's disabled. It's disabled. Then this has to be true. Of course, the lock is also disabled until we have no better solution than yet. Yeah, trading stop is also disabled. It's not needed basically, and TP break even from 1 pair, it's also disabled. But yeah. That's it for this video. This was target equity. Hope this helps. Hope this gets a little bit clearer. May you wanna also watch, in comparison with this video, the videos from Alex. Then it should get clear at the end of the day. Have a nice one. Till the next video.
Yeah, welcome to this explanation video, which refers to one of the most important things what the EA is containing. it's all about the equity and equity close and balance and stuff like this. Yeah. So basically, we know, or as we know, in trading are two really important values when it comes to account or account management. There is the value which is called balance, which means the balance of already closed trades in profit or loss. And there is the value equity, which means balance subtracted or added from to open positions. So basically, if my open positions are positive, my balance or my equity will be above my balance. If my positions are negative, then my equity will be below the balance. So these are the commonly known important values. Now, in this EA, there is one additional value, or let's say Alex invented a third value, which really makes the difference between life and death very often in this game. And this is the value called depot zero. So what is depot zero? Depot zero means it is a stepwise upgrading, stepwise upgrading the value of the account balance first, and then growing the equity after upgrading the account balance. Yeah, and here is some lack of understanding due to the naming or the wording of the parameters inside the EA, and this is what I wanna focus today, and what I want to make completely crystal clear. So this depot zero is basically a value which is set initially at the balance. Yeah, so basically you have 10,000 euros on your account. Yeah, let's say 10,000 euros means depot zero is now 10,000, is 10K. Yeah, so then trading starts, and then obviously the EA closes profits. Yeah, and these profits are booked where? Of course, into the balance. Yeah, so this balance is growing now. Let's say at 10,050. Yeah, and our equity. Where is our equity? Questionable. Yeah, balance is growing to 10,050, and the EA now starts looking. Okay, where is my equity? Is my equity far away or more away than the trigger is allowing it is away? Then the EA, and now it gets really important, changes behavior. How these profits, this $50 here, let's say, or euros, doesn't matter, are used. Yeah. Normally, all profits are booked to the balance, and all good so far. We try to close more profits than losses, so balance grow and equity grow also. But this is most time not the case, especially not with grid EAs. Grid EAs have a certain behavior which make it very hard to keep the equity close to the balance. Yeah? So basically what the EA is now doing, he changes, as mentioned, behavior. He do not, at first he booked it into balance. Yeah. Now he changes behavior and say, okay, I'm using it for killing old negative orders. Negative orders. Okay, so basically the EA now changes behavior and use the new profits to kill old negatives. And there are some parameters, max equity profit and stuff like this, which we discuss later, which I'm going through every parameter exactly. So max equity profit, max balance to overlap equity, depot zero, overlap true or false, dynamic target equity, and stuff like this. But this is important to understand. The EA is not only into building up my balance, yeah, it is also adapting the behavior, how it works or how it behaves when a certain trigger value is reached, when a certain drawdown is reached, to reduce this drawdown heavily and as fast as possible. So basically, he can decide what he is doing. Will I keep my profits and book it to the balance, or will I use these profits instantly to reduce negative open orders and also growing up my equity near to my balance? Okay, let's scroll down a little bit here. I already made a drawing how this is working, a drawing scheme, how this is working. As you can see here now, these are basically blue and green lines. Yeah, the blue one is the balance, the green one is the equity, as we know it from the MT4 tester. And now I have the value max equity profit. And this is a little bit confusing because it's not in the first step, it's not the max equity profit which the EA should build up, it's the balance. The EA always builds up balance first. Sorry. So this EA, let's say the setting is set to 1%. So basically the EA builds up 1%. And when this 1% is reached, the EA keeps looking, okay, where is my equity? Okay, my equity is 1.5% away, let's say. Yeah. Now the EA changes into the overlap function, or initiates the overlap function. Overlapping means basically what I explained before. All new profits are used to reduce old negative orders, which basically leads to such an behavior. So basically he closes profit, use it immediately. The EA closes profit, use it immediately. Closes profit, use it immediately. And the EA also does this multi-currency wise. So basically EURUSD profit can be used to reduce open negatives in gold or whatsoever. Yeah? Depends on the pair you are trading or pairs you are trading. This is true, what I mentioned now, when you set max equity profit to 1% and max balance to overlap equity also to 1%. Yeah. And if you change this max balance to equity profit to, let's say, 0.5%, then the EA does not building up without looking back this 1% and then start overlapping, but the EA does build up 0.5% and then looks, okay, where is my equity? And now things get important. When the equity now is below my depo zero value, which always gets adapted in the step of max equity profit. Yeah, so basically it gets pulled up every time at 0.2% or 1% or whatsoever. Let's say it gets pulled up at 1%. Yeah, and I'm here. And when this value is now, let's say when my depo zero value is here at 10,100, whenever my equity is below 10,100, the EA stops building up balance, but it starts reducing negative positions to get the equity in place. So at the max allowed distance, which is max balance to overlap equity parameter, of course. And then it continues building up until it reaches percent in total. And then it does basically this. It uses all the new profits to meet up the balance line. And when the balance line is met, then a close all is happening. This all what you can see here now is only true if dynamic target equity is disabled. If dynamic target equity is enabled, it would look more like this. Basically, the EA permanently, constantly rises the balance line, and as long as the equity stays close to the balance line, as long as the drawdown from the depo zero value again, counted from the depo zero value, as long as the drawdown is not higher than the value set at max balance to overlap equity, the EA building up balance and doesn't care about equity. It starts caring about equity when this, let's say 0.5%, gets bigger in this case. the EA immediately is going sideways, or here it's even better visible. The EA immediately starts going sideways, using all new profits to get equity back up below this trigger value, and then continues with building up. This is dynamic target equity. It's yeah, a slightly different, but it's working different. The advantage of this version is that you constantly grow your equity and constantly grow your balance, as long as the drawdown gets bigger than a certain trigger value, and then it starts overlapping. The advantage of this drawing here, or of this system here with disabled dynamic target equity, is that every certain time the EA closes out all orders, which can be very useful in spike markets, which we are facing actually yet, which can be very useful in before huge news moves, because you have a clean chart with no orders, and the EA is starting over by 0 again. So at this 0 point, of course, or this 0 point, or this 0 point, or whatever, and building up the account, let's say, stepwise. It depends on your risk appetite. It depends on whatever you want from the EA. In my opinion, or for me, this I like this way more to handle it like this. But this is this is dependent on you. Whatever you want from the EA, or whatever the EA should do for you. So now let's move to the server. This is one of my live accounts. Or one of the live accounts where the EA is running here. As you can see, this was a 20K account. It's a very fresh account. It's new. It's 2 days old or something like this. 2.5 days old, already 1% in profit. And yeah, as you can see, here is the EA is working. And let's watch, or let's go around over this explain stuff once more. No, here. Yeah, here we go. To better understand what I told you. So I hope I can move the price here, because it's exactly it. Okay. Now it's better. And here we go. As you can see here, my depo-zero value now is 2190. So basically, this is the value where the EA do not let the balance fall below. So basically, this is my locked balance. Let's call it like this. Yeah, now I have a target balance. My 1%, if you remember the drawing, is in real life 0.2%, just for example. Yeah. So basically it's $40 here. Means my target balance is reached when I have 230 euros in the account. And then when this is reached, latest point, the equity or the new profits will be taken to get the equity up to this value, and then we get a so-called equity close. Means a close all, means the points where the balance and the equity are meeting from the picture before. And these are values which are measuring values which are showing what's going on the account. This is basically the overall drawdown, not equity wise, not depo-zero wise. This is the account drawdown. It's positive yet. Then I have the balance percentage, which I'm away from depo-zero, from the new depo-zero, of course. So from depo-zero target, which is in this case 20,230. I have already collected 0.04%, and 0.16 are left from my total 0.20, which I want. And my equity is basically also positive. So this means my equity is 0.05% from the requested 0.20, above this value already. Yeah. So basically these two values are not really related to the overall, to the real accounts drawdown. These values are related always to depo zero. Yeah. And now when it comes to settings, I will show you what I've meant before, why this can be a little bit misleading. The way the settings are called, because we have here close equity has to be true that the function is activated, of course. Yeah? And here we have max equity profit, which is set to 0.2, which is, if you remember the old screen, which is exactly this. Max equity profit means this number here. Yeah. So basically it's first the max balance profit and then it gets max equity profit, of course. Yeah. Max balance to overlap equity is now again, is now again the value which when the EA is starting to overlapping. So basically now here this drawing is correct if you have set max equity profit and max balance to overlap equity move to the same value. Then it would work like this. If you say, okay, you have max equity profit 0.2, like in my case, and max equity profit exactly, and max balance to overlap equity to 0.5, it will start to build up 0.5 here. Yeah. It will start to build up 0.1, not 0.5, 0.1, sorry, 0.2 and 0.1. It will start to build up here, but when the equity is going below depo zero, the depo zero value, then it stops and build up the equity first before it continues to go to my target at 0.2. So basically it builds up 0.1%, the half, the 50% of this 0.2 which I set because I set the second value to 0.1. Then it looks, okay, where is my equity? Is my equity above depo zero? Okay, all fine. I continue. Is my equity below depo zero? The EA stops here and starts building up equity until the equity comes above the old depo or the actual depo zero value, and then it continues. So basically, this is a mix between or not a mix, but yeah, from the optical side, it looks more like this, like this. This is true, as mentioned, when you set both values to the same number, and this is true when you use dynamic target equity, and somewhere in the middle you will get settled in the middle if you use it like this. Okay, this is let's say hopefully understandable way to explain this feature. Yeah. And it also hopefully gives you an idea how capable this EA is, because it all depends on the one hand, the account should grow, yeah, but it all depends also that you get very low drawdowns. And you can only get very low drawdowns when you change the way you're treating new profits, when you change the way how you're using new profits. You can either book them or you can use them to get up your equity. Yeah? And this function overall, and how I explain it, is deciding how it is used, these values. Decide how your new profits are used. Yeah? Depo zero overlap, basically this is clear, yeah, means should the EA overlap before depo zero is reached or not, as before the new depo zero value is reached or not, yeah. If it's true, it's only, it makes only sense to set it to true when these values are different. So when this value is higher than this, if these both values are the same, you can also disable it because it's basically disabled by the values already, yeah. And yeah, this is dynamic target equity. You can either use this way to build up your target balance and depo zero values, or you can use it like I use in a more stepwise way to build it up. But yeah, this is it. Method close is 0. This is already something else. Important is dynamic depo zero overlap to understand it, what it means, and how it behaves with these two values. Basically, when you set it to the same, it's already disabled. Either it's true or false, doesn't matter. And when these are different, and it should work that these are different, and this has to be true, of course. This has always to be true, because otherwise the function is inactive. Max equity profit I explained numbers of times, yet this is basically the step, let's say, which the EA built stairwise up the balance first and then the equity. Max balance to overlap equity is always how much balance should he build up, and then check where is my equity. Is my equity below my depo zero value? Just start overlapping. If it is above depo zero or even profit like it is now here, yeah, it's a little bit of profit, then move on. Book all as much as you can up to profits. Yeah, this is the number how often the EA can do this, as I name it, equity closes. Yeah, this means basically how often the EA can do these red rings here. Yeah, this is an equity close. Basically, it closes all the equities up to the balance. What is the target? Yeah, initially. How often he can do this per day? It's set to 100 in my case, because it's, yeah, can do it however he wants. Yeah, depo zero overlap already explained also means should he start overlapping, yes or no, and it has to be true when these values are different. And yeah, this is dynamic target equity, the second version or second possibility. This is basically constantly growing your target balance, and as depo zero, as equity goes below depo zero, he starts overlapping. And yeah, killing old orders with new profits. What is also part of this equity close function, or directly related to this equity close function, is very important: overlap and last TP. Well, last TP has to be true, of course, because somehow you have to close the positions, either with a trailing stop or last TP or whatsoever. I recommend use last TP. It's the most effective way. Type overlap is the way the EA is overlapping. Overlapping type 4 means he starts reducing negative orders above the TP line or below the TP line, behind the TP line, let's call it like this, or break-even line, yeah, and reducing them down to the same size and then killing one after the other. Yeah? And yeah, this should be set as 4, then doing exactly like I told you. Yet coefficient last means use 100% of the new profits for overlapping. Definitely recommended. Yeah. Last TP pips is only used if you do not use auto pip step ADR, which I use on my live accounts, which I heavily recommend to use with these settings at least. Yeah. So basically this, where is it? Here we go. These 15 pips are yet disabled because I'm using last TP fixed pips as false. Basically, it also is relating to my auto pip step now, and the overlapping function should work always, even from the first level, which means this setting. And here we go. This setting is the minimum size of an order what the EA should be capable to destroy. It's 001 in Forex pairs. Please pay attention if you trade different things like indices. Mostly it's 01 at indices. Also, if you trade on micro accounts where you can use 0.000 or 001 lots, yeah, then also please do not forget adapting this value. Okay, this is, yeah, equity close, depo zero function, max equity profit function, which is called very often in the videos also, which is called very often in our groups. Yeah, and I think there is a huge lack of understanding due to the, yeah, way the settings are named and the way the settings we talk about, because we're never talking about max equity profit. We always talking about or we're talking about max equity profit, and meaning max balance profit in the first step. But yeah, this is basically can lead to some misunderstanding. I hope this is clear now and the function is clear now. And yeah, that's it for this video.
So, and this is the 7th and last video for now at least, where I wanna give you a proof of concept and wanna show you some examples, of course, and want to give you a little bit deeper explanation of the whole set file, not simple single functions and how the functions work and why I use it like I use it, but also why how the whole set file is configured and is brought together. Well, as mentioned, I'm trading these for pairs. Local historical data is not that important when you use Parabolic. You can leave it like it is. And yeah, our start is disabled at all. No new trade. This is all false. Of course, trade buy, trade sell has to be true. New serial and new level also. Risk and lot size, as mentioned, I'm using auto lot size, which is configurable here at this parameter, which is always referring to 10K, as mentioned in the referred video. Then use cost of pip is also important, but please take care to add it on a pair like Euro USD and not on some other pair, and a pair which is in the same which contains the currency your account is. So let's say when you have a pound account, use pound USD to add the EA. If you have a euro account, use euro USD to add. If you have something else, then use the currency which is from the price as close as the other currencies, as the currency which is contained here. But yeah, this is it. Use cost of pip is true, as mentioned. Max lot risk is set to 0.5. It's also referring to 10K and growing with the account size. Max trades at 20, max spread is at 2. I do not use, I'm using, do not use limit orders or stuff like this. I'm using market orders, 0. I do not use trend step, I'm using just a pip step. Auto pip step in my case in the live accounts is always true. This is a test account where it's false. Then you have to, where is it? Pending follow signal. This is, you can leave it like it is. Type first lot exponent is 0. Is 0 exactly. This is case sensitive. Type first lot exponent is 0, which means I multiplied with this up to order serial order number 4 or level order, let's say number 4, 5th order. And then I'm using 10% of the full amount, as you can see here, of the full amount of open lots to add it to the latest serial order, which counts up then my trade size very slow. Stop loss is disabled, lock is disabled, virtual TP and overlap is basically default setting. It's set to true, of course. And overlapping number 4 is the method using 100% of the profit. Last TP pips is same as pip step in my case. It's always the case. For me, it's always the case. I'm using it at level 1, starting immediately. And last TP fixed pips is true. If you do not use auto pip step, if you use auto pip step, set it to false, because then you use the pip step also for the TP. It's more effective. Virtual trading stop is disabled. Same is true for break-even pairs. entry close, depo zero, dynamic target equity, equity balance, target balance, however you call it. This function is very critical also and is explained in the latest video before this and the last video, of course. Use it like I said it here for the results which that they get the same results which I have. I've set it to false as mentioned because I like it to close out all orders frequently and restart from new and use 0.1 and 0.2. You can go a little bit up with the value here to 0.25, even 0.3. This basically will cause lesser close all steps or close all goals, how Alex is calling it. But yeah, the steps would be bigger. It's a little bit depending on whatever you on who you are and what you want and what's your objective. Yeah, but this should be set like it is. As mentioned, if you want to understand these functions, please watch the last video. It's explained in detail there. Leave all these functions like they are. I've changed nothing here. Basically, I'm started to changing again here in the indicator stuff. I'm using indicators at first and grid signals, so at serial, at new serials, and at level orders or grid orders. Let the second and at the third and the fourth option at false. Do not change here something. Make sure that at all indicators are set at the type to 0, excepting our parabolic, which has been set to 2. And yeah, this is basically standard default values, standard values. Set this to 0 to be independent, switching between the time frames. Yeah. Otherwise you will get errors. If you have here, let's say 60 and you're using the 15-minute time frame, this won't work. The 60 filter would work, of course, but just set it to 0 and that's it. Yeah. Leave the latest value also at 0. The signal bar value means it will change immediately when parabolic is changing the direction. It will change the trading direction. And yeah, this is basically the set file. And yeah, as I call it, proof of concept. Proof of concept is very hard. I'm doing several tests here. This is a US dollar, Canadian dollar test. Yeah. Maybe we want to use this and let's set it to control points to be a little bit faster. Let's use this as example. Just have to watch if I changed here something for testing proposals, but no. As mentioned, this is set to true. It's 15 because we're testing 15 minutes. Set it to 2 and to 2 again. It's basically correct yet. 0, 2 till order 4 and 1, 0, 1 also correct. This is like it should be. Of course, this is false. We're using auto pip step now. Trailing is set to false also. TP is false. This is true. 0, 1, 0, 2, 100, true, false. Perfect. And false, false, true, true. The indicators are activated and nothing changed here. So it has to be the SAR only and all other indicators have to be disabled, which they are. Perfect. Then hit OK. And we are testing now the 30th of November last year until today. Why? Because the 30th of November was a really crappy month. It was a really crappy day. After it, prices shoot up or shoot down, or in this day, at this day, prices shoot up or down massively. And I just want to have this in my testing included to yeah, start the EA at worst conditions possible. Let's say it like this. Yeah, yeah. And as you can see already here in my tester, I'm using my set file now, and I'm having some long orders here resting up there because we are still long here at the top, and market is flipping to short. And then we are busy with reducing stuff. We're collecting profits down here, and our latest long order there, where is it? Where is the next long order? I think here we go, is 0.16. So basically what is open here? 1, 2, that's not really good visible, but 0.16 means it has to be the fourth order of the serial orders. Yeah, so of the step orders, of the grid orders, because otherwise it couldn't be 0.16. Well, it's not true, because we're working with 30K. We're starting with 0.03. So basically we have 0.03, 0.06, 0.012, 0.24, and yeah, there was something reduced here. So basically this was our fourth order with 0.16, and 1, 2, 3, fourth order, correct there. So the third order in the first multiplier. And yeah, as you can see, you forget some orders at the bottom or at the top here, but this doesn't really bother the EA. The drawdowns are quite not high. As you can see, you're facing somehow 3% of drawdown. Basically, we are from the equity a little bit below our deposit, but this will change in a second. Yeah, here we go. And now we already get our, as I call it, equity closes. Yeah, our depo zero is start rising, and as you can see, from time to time all orders gets closed, yeah, as now has happened. And this is a really good thing and an advantage, especially when a sharp move is happening directly after. Yeah, then you have, yeah, a flat chart, and you can start over from the scratch, let's say. But of course, another equity close, and of course you booked your profits already before. Yeah. So, and now as I tested this for a long time, I know how it ends. Yeah, it ends at I think a 10% profit roundabout, or was it no, 8% profit, somehow 8% roundabout. Yeah, at the end of the testing period. Testing period here is the December, January, February period. Yeah, so the whole December, the whole January, which are basically 2 months, yeah, which you shouldn't trade, which you should more avoid to trade, because it's very dangerous months due to very low liquidity. But yeah, as you can see, it's working. It's showing not that big drawdowns. There are drawdowns, of course, there are drawdown phases, but the mathematics of the EA corrected very fast and very good, very stable. Yeah. I would now cancel this here, otherwise the video would get too long, and do this without visualization, that you can get an idea how it performs and how it works. Yeah. And you get a graph also. This was the first huge drop, but huge drop, we are talking about 800 euros here, drawdown roundabout. Yeah. So nothing really special at all. What is important, I'm using tick data, as you can see, for my testing. Well, this is brings the whole testing procedure way closer to the real market conditions, because you can you have spread data with the tick data. Yeah, you can use trading costs to calculate in trading costs, so you can commissions put in which value you want to, if you pay commissions and stuff like this. This brings you way closer to real market conditions trading wise. And yeah, may I found out I tried something yesterday which didn't work out. Yeah, but this is this was gold also for the same time span as I remember. Yeah, it's a gold test. As you can see, there are some orders which I'm carrying with me longer. Here are some orders, and this is the spike move at the 30th, what I mentioned, which I want to take care of and I want to have in it to, yeah, get, let's say, the worst possible start for the EA and do whatever it to validate if it does what I want from him, and if it works like I want that it work. And yeah, obviously it does. And of course, as you can see, it also does on real accounts. Here you can see what is meant with pip step, auto pip step. As you can see, the pip step here is very small. This will be close to 15, I think. Yeah, it's 15 because it's my minimum, my barely minimum. And CO3, 10, yeah, okay, this would be the next one here. Here we have 38, yeah, and the next one would also be 38, maybe, I think so. Yeah, a little bit more even. But why? Easy, because this order gets opened here, and then market crashes down. Immediately, pip step enlarges. And yeah, here you can see how it is working and how it is preparing DA instant for different conditions, yeah, and how it is saving you from huge losses or huge drawdowns, because let's say 15 pips, where is the latest buy order? Here we go. I have in 100 pips I have open 4 buy orders. Do the math. If you had a pip step of 15, how much would you have open? At least 2 more. I think rather 3 more. Yeah? So it calms down the whole expert advisor massively. Yeah, this is a test account from mine. This is no, this is something else. This is one where I'm testing stuff, correct? Yeah. And now let's have a look here. I think, yeah, here we go. We are ready. We are at 7%, okay. 7% profit. Here we go. We have an absolute drawdown, so drawdown calculated on the deposit amount of 0.3%, no, 1,000 euro. 3%, sorry. And we have an overall drawdown of 4%, which is okay. It's basically okay. It's quite okay. Because if you trade more pairs, the pairs support each other. If there are profits from other pairs and they are needed in a different pair, the EA is taking it. And this is great. Yeah, okay, so this is it for the first video series, or for this video series. Hope this helps and give a little insight of how the EA is working and what is capable to, and what is capable to do. And yeah, as you can see, it's really no rocket science, but do your homework, learn the parameters. That's really important and case sensitive. You have to know at which screw you are changing things, and yeah, otherwise you may lose a wheel on the highway, and this is not a good idea. So basically learn the parameters, and you can use this set file and adopt it to your needs or do whatever you want, but stay safe and do not waste money. That's it, guys. Hope that helps. Have a nice one.